Hello and welcome everybody to Talkin Baseball episode 1 here on Big Train TV. I'm Shaun Salehi, joined alongside my co-host Sal Colangelo, Big Train manager. And we are happy to be joined today by associate head coach and summer camp director Galvin Morris. Galvin, Sal, thank you for joining us today.
Well, no problem.
Thanks for having us.
So we have a lot of fun topics to talk about today. As the show name implies, it's just talking baseball, talking shop. And I kind of want to start off this show by asking both of you guys, how did you get into baseball? What was the thing that first got you both into the sport you now love today?
I think my father got me involved when I was little. He thought that if you participate and you were involved and you were doing something, that it would bring the best out of you character-wise, would keep you focused in the classroom as well. But definitely my father definitely got me involved for the love of the game that he had. Taught us, not just me, but all of my 3 other brothers, the life lessons of baseball. And then, growing up, you just kind of adapted it, learned from it, and became a sponge. So I would have to say where I got involved was through my dad and being as a 5-6-year-old growing up playing t-ball. I still remember that on the field at Dumfries Elementary School, all grass field, and put the ball on a tee. And I can understand why. I had to be able to hit off a tee when he could pitch it and I could hit it, and throwing a tantrum and running around the bases the wrong way just in spite. But I would definitely have to give credit to my dad because he's the one that introduced baseball to me.
Galvin, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I'll say more of my mom than my dad. Like, my mom was just wanted me to get out the house for the most part. But the same as Sal, just growing up, starting off in Little League T-ball, just learning the game, and, just playing. You just started to play every day after that. Once you get introduced to it, it's one of those games you got to play every day, which I pretty much did. We weren't playing that. We played another sport, but baseball was more or less our everyday sport. We were playing with a tennis ball, baseball, or whatever it may be. It's one of those things that you just had to play with every day. So I give credit probably to my mom more to get me involved in the game.
Well, I know Sal played football. Galvin, were you a one-sport athlete or a multi-sport athlete? That's kind of changed as generations have gone on. Players are trying now to be a little bit more specific during this generation. But did you play multiple sports, or were you just sticking to baseball?
Hey, I think I can answer that. He was definitely a one-sport athlete. He wasn't very athletic, so it was more baseball because Lakes came to Potomac. It was an L. But go ahead, G. I'll let you answer.
I played 3 sports in high school. I played basketball, baseball, and football. Played football for 4 years, baseball for 4 years. I only played basketball 1 year. Those guys started going a little taller than me. I had to change sports. So I was a 3-sport in high school, yes.
What position did you play in
regardless
football?
of what Sal said.
What
I did
position did you play in football?
Football was a freshman year. I was inside linebacker. I played some quarterback.
Oh, wow.
And when we needed to throw the ball deep, I went in as the quarterback. As I moved up, I played outside linebacker and varsity as a sophomore and offensive line.
So your whole kind of football career centered around the quarterback, whether it was getting after the quarterback, playing the quarterback, or protecting the quarterback. That's awesome. Did you have a favorite moment playing at South Lakes? You graduated in 1990, born and raised a Seahawk, still live in Reston today. What is your favorite memory from any sport did you have in high school?
Wow. They're all favorite. They're all good memories. I guess started in basketball where we went 22-0 as I first, and it took 30 years for someone to finally break that record. 22-0 was a lot. It was a good accomplishment for us. We still talk about it today with our guys. Football, winning a couple of district championships, getting the first start against powerhouse football program at TC Williams. That's where I got my start. And baseball, wow, he's got so many in baseball. I guess whenever you beat your crosstown rival team, it's always you remember those games more than anything else. Beating Herndon, I think I probably lost to Herndon maybe once or twice my 4 years of high school. That's in all three sports. So baseball, definitely just beating those guys because you play with those guys in the summer. And this, you beat them in high school, then you go play with them in the summer. And obviously it's bragging rights. So just beating your crosstown rival was a big thrill for me as a high school player.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, post athletic career, you decided to get into coaching. You're a coach with the Big Train. You also now coach high school baseball as well. You have coached high school baseball for quite some time. You also work with MVP baseball. What kind of clicked with you that made you think, I want to go onto the other side? I want to go from the field to now working on the sidelines.
Well, it was just one of those things where I had an opportunity when I at South Lakes where they asked me to coach, and I mean it's one of those things where it's my alma mater. Why wouldn't you want to coach there? And this is it was just one of the ways of giving back. I didn't even know if I was getting paid or anything. I was just happy to be out there at that point. Then they said I got paid for it, and I was like, that was a bonus for me. But it's just knowing the people in the community, like I said, just a way of giving back. And I felt I coaches that taught me the game, I could turn around and teach those kids the game as well. So that what made me get into coaching is just seeing the thrill of kids getting the enthusiasm and getting what they put in, it's just I don't know. It's just one of those things where it just happened. I mean, you can't even describe it.
So Sal, you've obviously known Galvin for a long time. Tell me about the first interaction you had with him as a coach and when you knew you wanted to bring him on your staff with Big Train.
So, funny story, and G knows what I'm going to say here. So probably my first, and this is crazy, G and I have battled it out for years in the Clark Griffith League. One of the most respected coaches when he was in that league, and even with Herndon, just the way he carried himself, his leadership on and off the field, the way he treated the kids. I'm a very good listener, and I observe very well. And then probably the most craziest thing that I like what he did, bases loaded. He's the home team, 2-2 count. And I'd be darned if he didn't squeeze. He told the guy to bunt. It's honest God truth. And I just looked at him and said, are you kidding me? And he's looking at me back, and I'm yelling, let it go. And it rolled, and it rolled, and it rolled, and it rolled on the line at Madison High School. And it just stayed there. So, I like the fact that he takes chances. I like the fact that the way he manages the game on the bases. I like the run. He does a good job with that. Most importantly, he's loyal. He's a loyal guy. I knew that before when I did my research, and I know it now. He knows I have his back. He has my back, and we get along. We bounce things off of each other. We talk all the time, and I just thought the trust and loyalty is huge when you're trying to build this and put this together. So, 5 years ago when he came on board, he reminds me of this too. You brought me as your good luck charm so we could start that tournament championship all over again and start winning the championship and not losing in the finals. That's why I brought him on. Well, the truth is that's part of it because I couldn't be at two places. I needed to be in the dugout managing and being a manager, and I needed someone out there to run the offense. And then it just turned into camps and that. And the history's there 4 years in a row. And credit goes to these kids that play for us because, G and I are very humble. We don't even like doing interviews and doing TV shows or anything like that. Because, he's like me. It's all about the kids, and it's only about the kids. But we're only as good as what these college coaches send us. And I spoke to a couple today, especially Matt from San Francisco and Coach Valenzuela from Long Beach State. They send us good kids. Do they send us good baseball players? Sure. but they send us good kids that want to listen, get better, and buy into the Big Train way, buy into the family atmosphere, buy into what we're trying to do and why we're here for them. And the one coach said, hey, he came back to us a better player because of what you did to him last summer. And the coach told me today, thank me for it. And I said, well, the kid put the effort in. I could only lead him. I can't make him drink that water. So that's one of the things, I kind of ran on a tangent there, but I like about Coach is that he's just loyal.
What kind of impact do you see Galvin have on the players each and every season?
Well, first and foremost, the way the players respect him, and that's something that's the players they look at right away, and I think there's also the way they can trust him, and they know he knows what he's talking about, and you don't get that. Well, why is this or why is that? They want to do better. So I would definitely have to say the respect that he has and that he shows the players and what it's like to be part of a family. We get guys from the South, we get guys from out West, we get guys from all over, all ethnic backgrounds and everything, and it's all about family. And that's the way it needs to be, about family. And G's a big part of that, what we do out in that outfield before the game, him and Coach Lopez. And that's just something special that we do that no one can come into our inner circle. And that's the respect G gets. And he gets the respect because he knows the game. He's got a high IQ in baseball.
Well, Galvin, there's plenty of
words.
Galvin, I'm sure you have plenty of favorite moments during your time with Big Train over these past 5 years. But if you had to pick one that sticks out in your mind, which one would it be?
Wow. I will have to go back to last season when we're down 4-0 going into game 3 of the league championship series, and I think it was late in the game, and to see Matt Thomas hit that home run for us. That and just talking about it now gives me chills. They were all big games that I think we played in those league champs, but that one just sticks out to me more because Matt wasn't even a home run hitter, but he got a pitch that he can drive, and it's just like we just found a way to win it. But that sticks out more, that championship series with Matt Thomas hit that home run for us than last year's championship league series.
Yeah.
And then you have one of my favorite parts of watching you from the broadcast booth was just how aggressive you were with sending runners around third base and sending them home, or just, like Sal said, the aggressiveness on the base pass. Where do you kind of get that mentality to where you can run between each bag and win a game?
That gives credit to Coach Sal. He was a base stealer himself back in high school, in college, and he gives me that leeway to have that freedom and give those guys the steal sign or whatever, the delay sign. And I just like putting pressure on the defense. Okay, if you just go base to base, the game gets kind of stagnant. But just putting pressure on the defense, force them to make plays. I like just that's what it comes down to. Being aggressive, you're putting pressure on that defense, force them to make plays. I don't know where it comes from, but it's one of those things that, as a catcher myself, I like when guys try to steal so I can try to throw them out. So I was going to put our guys in motion to see if those guys can throw us out.
So Shaun, saying that, we talk about the aggressiveness and, clearly I think we stole 170 something bases in 40 games last summer. But, the kids learned, Gio being one of them, how to steal a base and what's the most important first step. But, we tell the kids too, there's a lot of things that go into the game of baseball, especially winning in college summer with back. You need to execute the fundamentals. You need to throw strikes. I don't care how crafty you are or how hard you throw. You need to throw strikes, and you need to catch the ball. If you can do those 3 things in the summertime, and Gio tell you, I preach that probably more than anything, those 3 things, and it sinks in, we might not be the most talented all the time, but we're going to find ways to win. So you take G's attitude and his aggression at that third, and the way we think, defensively, it equals a lot of success. And I'm grateful. We're humbled for it. G and I will always be humbled for it. But in order to do what we do, it takes a team effort. We can't do it without you guys and the general manager, Chris or Bruce, or Amy and Ann. God bless them. I mean, if they're not out there hitting the road and getting us these host families, and now all of a sudden I'm recruiting a lot of local players. Now G and I can do that, but it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a different caliber. You're not getting the diversity from all over the country, and diversity could be the way they play the game down south as opposed to the way they play the game out west or up Midwest. So they afford me the opportunity to be able to do that. And without them, I mean, I owe them a lot. I mean, when we win, they win. They're part of the team.
Well, I'm happy you touched on that because I wanted to ask both of you what goes into the recruiting process in terms of trying to get guys from all over the country, because it's a big melting pot of personalities and just characters every single season here in Bethesda. And I wanted to know kind of what the mindset was for each of you going into making that process happen.
Well, I'll run things by G a lot. I do a lot of it. G also helps a little bit. I'll run things by him. Like if I'm stuck, like, what do you think? I don't want to go into too much details because, Jeff Raberman's down the street at Gaithersburg and he's still trying. I love Jeff. But, I can't do what I can't do what I'm trying to do without Ann and Emily, knowing that I'm recruiting right now and I've got a commitment of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 9 players right now. And I'm starting to get into it. I was hoping to wait. I can't sign them to August 1st per league rules, but coaches are starting to call. I guess they want to get it done with. So I'm going to be done probably in the next couple of weeks, by the end of June. But knowing that I have the back by Bruce and Chris and Eric Cole, our board, and Becky, knowing we're going to get host families, it's not hard because, the guys know, they know when they come, we're going to take care of them. We tell the guys all the time, especially the pitchers, hey, coach, I'm ready to go. I want the ball. They're taught all the time, I want the baseball. But they got to understand it's your career. There was a couple of years we've lost the league championship that if we don't lose 2 or 3 arms those years, we might not have lost the league championship over the last decade. And that's the truth. Gio will tell you that, when you're losing big arms and people get hurt, sometimes better lucky than good. But so they allow me to do what I need to do. And there's a formula, method to my madness. And G saw a little of it this past week or two with NBTBL draft, why I do what I do and where we're going to get to. So, it's a mixture of speed. It's a mixture of being guys that are going to be able to catch the ball. It's going to be a mixture of guys that, are going to do the right things when they're not on the field. They're not going to embarrass their university. They're not going to embarrass their coach or parents. Or most important, they're not going to embarrass our organization. So once we get that combo, all that stuff, look, we'll make them play. They'll play for us. And if we don't win every game, I can tell you one thing, we're going to be competitive. We're going to play hard. And if they're not going to do that, we're going to make them do it. That's just those are the type of kids we get. So, yeah, I'm saddened we're not playing this summer. G and I will coach a little bit this summer in July just to have some fun. Be a great opportunity to scout some of the kids. There's a couple intriguing kids on our team that I want to see play, whether or not a possibility of signing them for next summer. So a lot goes into what we do, and it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. But there again, the coaches I deal with, guys at Virginia Tech, first class. Guys at Long Beach State, first class. Greg Moore and Eric Valenzuela out west. I mean, I'm not just dealing with coaches just to place people. I'm dealing with coaches that I have a personal relationship, that I've developed a relationship, that they know what I need and they know what I want. And we kind of build it from there. I go to my main schools and then I fill in after there. And so I've been very fortunate, but my hat's off and thanks to those schools because I'm only as good as what they send me.
Now, Coach G, you've also worked with a bunch of different personalities every summer running the summer camp. I've got to see that firsthand, helping out a little bit this past summer in 2019. What goes into each week? What is the goal each week that you're trying to have an impact on these kids?
Well, it's just making sure they're being taught the right way, fundamentals of baseball. Because I always tell these kids, and when we I introduce the players to them, I always say these guys standing up here now, the players, that the big train players, was once in your seat. You know, so just teach fundamentals of the game and knowing that they're going to come out here, they're going to learn baseball, and they're going to have fun doing it. I think that's the main key, is having fun doing it at the same time learning the game. If they're not having fun doing it, it sometimes may not be, for them. But as long as they're getting taught the game the right way, we like to call it the big train way, play the game the right way, and have fun doing it. With so much success that the big train has had, it makes it easier for those kids to come out every day and learn the game and then come watch these guys play. They taught them, then they go out and watch the guys play the game. And the same way they taught those guys, they go out and produce it and perform on the field. So I just get a kick out making sure those guys learn fundamentals of the game.
And then what do you see the players, the big train players, get out of working summer camp? How do you see working with the kids impact them on the field?
Well, I can answer one thing with that. I don't mean to interject, Coach, but I think the guys learn a little bit about patience. and
Yes.
So they get out there and like, oh my God, we got 20 kids on this field and 30 kids. We got 100 kids running around. That they learn about safety. They learn a lot about awareness, and more importantly, they learn on how to talk to people, not just people of your age, but the kids that are younger. And you got to develop relationships. You got to get down to their level. They got to understand you. So they learn a lot. And most, quite frankly, they also learn that they got to get up in the summertime before 8 o'clock to get to work. Because if not, these college guys, they're fighting to work the afternoon shift. So play late at night, sleep all day, and come to camp, and it's like a cycle. So we'll mix it up once in a while. But Coach G has done an amazing job. I'm really behind the scenes with camp now. With what I do, and I'm out there some, but Coach G runs it. He runs a program. We have very little complaints, if at all. He handles them, or I handle them. It's a great team effort. The kids are understanding more on, when you're at baseball camp, that doesn't mean you're on your cell phone, the players. When you're at baseball camp, you're not cussing or joking around like you do with the older kids, so it's teaching them to be professional and really act like professionals, because it's a job. I mean, there's people that are looking for jobs, or Chris Monaco that works for the state trooper Monaco now, state police in Richmond. He, they called me about him. What was he like at camp? How was he as a worker? Did he cause any problem? How did he treat kids? I mean, it all starts right here. Once you start getting paid and you put that out on an application, it all starts right there.
And
I think they build relationship with the players as well, because they work with them at camp. Then those same kids come to watch them play when we play at the game, and you just hear them screaming their names out. And that goes a long way for those guys when those kids, or they got those fans screaming their names out during the game, cheering for them. But I think at the end of the day, like Sarah said earlier, it builds that family relationship. Those kids are coming to the game. They are going to watch you play, but they've already got a good rapport with them because working with them in camp. So it just builds a family atmosphere even more by working the camps.
And then going to the future, is what is the goal during this summer? You touched on, obviously, the fact that there is no baseball this summer. What are you doing right now, Coach G and Coach Sal, other than the fact that you're recruiting players? I heard that you guys are thinking about coaching in July, working with some players. How are you guys passing by the time during this, weird time in our country right now?
Well, and G's probably the same. Ever since I started, I got out of college ball coaching, got into education. I never had a summer off. So I'm spending a lot of time with the family. Spending a lot of time with the girls before my oldest goes to college. I'm helping kids on the field now. They're at South County all the time working, college kids, high school kids, finding time there just to give back to the local community. Just trying to stay busy. It's tough. Working a lot more than I did when I would go into work. But it's tough, it's just really tough. It's been hard because when you're in education and you see these kids that are seniors that have totally lost their senior year, senior season at school, and we had a little graduation on Saturday, it breaks your heart. So I'm just trying to stay busy, trying to be positive, really look at what life's about and the things that I've missed and the things that I don't want to miss anymore and put it in perspective. And it's really been a good time to reflect, which will be nice. I'm been off and we'll play 18 games in July. Coach G and I will have a good time. We'll win some games. Maybe I'll win 500 in July. No, I'm just joking. I give Chris a hard time on that. But we're just going to have fun and enjoy, and life's too short.
All right. Well, I mean, for me, well, obviously you see I'm growing a little beard here. I'm doing a little experimenting there. But I think it's just I think a lot of it is, like Sal just said, I really never had a summer off, and you don't realize what you miss or stuff just around your house like that needs to be done, So just catching them stuff that, I've had a heater put in, I had, some stuff repaired, just stuff that builds up that you really don't notice during the summer or whatever during the spring because you're always coaching, you're always on the move. But it just so I'm just catching up on things around my house, make sure it's staying afloat here. I'll make sure it doesn't fall apart on me. Then the opportunity came where there was some guys asked us to coach. I'm going to try to coach a short summer league, and I was gung ho for that. Yeah, hey, let's do it. Because I'll be doing it anyway. So it's just just try to find something to stay busy. I mean, I walk around my neighborhood every day. I think I met just about everyone in our neighborhood now just by walking every day. Some people I haven't even met since I've been here. I've started to meet new people. So that's a plus too. So like I said, like Sal said, just try to stay busy, try to do something. Baseball wise, is you can do little. Only can do but so much there at this point. But I think as things start to open up, I think getting back into it a little bit as far as, like I said, we're going to do. Hopefully this summer league team gets off this going this summer, and we'll be back in baseball again.
Well, I completely agree. Thank you guys so much. I think that just about wraps it up for episode 1 of Talkin Baseball. Thank you so much, Coach G, for joining us today. And thank you, Coach Sal, for being part of the show too. Look forward to all of our shows going forward. If you want any more Big Train content, keep it right here on Big Train TV. Have a good night, everybody.